Hello, welcome in this video where I will show you another amazing method, amazing fame farm method in Albion Online, and this method is doing static dungeons in tier 4 blue zones. This method is 100% safe because it's blue zone, so even if you will go there in 8.3, nobody can kill you. So that's pretty awesome, and the fame is pretty decent. You will see the numbers later. But first, as always, welcome on my island where I will show you my build. As always, I'm showing you here my build because build is pretty important in this method. So this is my build. It's very common battle axe build, but I will explain you why I am wearing these items. At first, battle axe, of course, because of its sustain from the E ability. So the third Q, the second W, and the first passive. The Spectre Hood to get our Hellion Jacket again. Hellion Jacket, we are using Hellion Jacket to our sustain, so the third ability and the first passive. We are using Shoes of Tenacity to reset the mobs if we don't want to fight anymore. But I got some swap for you. If you think you don't need it and you want to be more tanky, you can use instead some Guardian Boots with the Giant ability and the second passive. Of course, it would be great if you would buy 8.3 Guardian Boots. Another item is Limhurst Cape. It's only 4.3 because the tier here doesn't matter, and I'm using Limhurst Cape because of the mana. If you would be short with mana, you always have Limhurst Cape, so you'll be safe. I'm using Mist Color, of course 8.3 to have more, to have higher cooldown modifier. So I will have all my abilities faster. Here you can use Taproot as a swap, so you will have more health, so you will be more tanky, you will be able to tank more mobs at the same time. I'm also using Satchel of Insight, which is on, so I will get more fame. Additional fame is always awesome. I'm also using Roast Pork 7.2. This food is pretty important because you will steal more health from the mobs that you are damaging, so you'll just get back more health. More health is always great. And I'm using healing potions. If I will be low on health, I can always use my potion. One more important thing about build that I'm using, it would be the best if you would have, as same as me, 8.3 battle axe. It can be an excellent, it would be great. 8.3 Hellion Jacket, at least 7.3 Spectre Hood. If you would have 8.3, it would be great. 8.3 Mist Color. You don't have to have high tier cape because it wouldn't change anything, and you don't have to wear any high tier Shoes of Tenacity because they are just hella expensive on the higher tiers. But you need high tier battle axe because your sustain will be higher, you will deal much more damage. You need high tier Hellion Jacket because your sustain will be higher as well. So you need these three items in high quality to be able to do static dungeons solo. Now another important thing, faction flagging. While doing static dungeons, you can get flagged up for your town, but I wouldn't recommend you doing that, and later I will show you why I wouldn't recommend you. Of course, if you want to get flagged up, you can do it. You will get some faction points while doing your static dungeons, but I just simply wouldn't recommend you that. And while doing the static dungeon, I will show you why you shouldn't do it. Of course, there are some static dungeons in some yellow zones, but today we will focus only on static dungeons in blue zones. Also, sometimes on the map there are statics, where the enemy upgrade rate is increased for some amount of time, so remember it. But today we will focus on the usual static dungeons, not the upgraded one, because they are pretty rare and it's not always easy to find them. And to find any static dungeon, just open the map, look for some static dungeons on the blue zone maps. Usually it's like 2 maps away from the town, so it's pretty easy to find them. Just then go to this static and start farming the mobs. And now the most important part, the farming part. I will explain you what skills should you use, when you should use them, and the other important things. So when it comes to this build, in a large group of mobs, always try to lure like 4 to 5 mobs, not too much, to be sure you won't die, because every death, every time you will be knocked down to your knees, it means that the durability on your gear will lose 5%, and every 5%, if you want to repair it in the repairing station, it means 100k silver that you will need to pay. So every death means that you will need to pay 100k to repair yourself. And when it comes to the combo, just spam your Q. When you're below on health, you can use your E. Before your E, you can use your W to increase the healing. When you will be low on health and you won't have your E and your W, just use your Hellion Jacket. After using the Hellion Jacket, you can reset it with your D. If you think you won't make it, you got too much mobs on you, you can always just use your boots, so you'll be invisible for something like a 1 second. So you can just reset your mobs and you can start once again, so you will be safe. Also, this build have huge sustain, so even if you'll be on like something like 100 HP and you will use your W, then you will use your E in like 4 or 5 mobs, you can go from 100 HP to full HP in like 1 second. So that's pretty awesome in this build. If you won't have your E, if you won't have your Hellion Jacket, and if you even won't have the reset, you can use healing potions, so you'll be safe anyway. Also, now another important thing when it comes to doing static dungeons in Blue Zone. Earlier I said that you shouldn't flag up, and this is why. You can see that some player who is flagged for Bridge Watch is near me, and if I would be flagged for Martlock, he would probably easily knock me down to my knees, and I would lose 5% on my durability on my gear, and that means I would need to pay 100k silver to repair myself. So if you are not scared of situations like that, when somebody from the other faction will come to you and will try to kill you, also you'll be knocked down for something like 3 minutes probably, so have that in mind when you will want to flag up. Another important thing about static dungeons in Blue Zone. Chests. Sometime you will see on the map the chests, like you can see here. If you will see a chest like that, you can just go there, kill the mobs which are near the chest and open the chest. Sometimes the loot there is pretty juicy. Here my chest, I wasn't so lucky, my loot was pretty lame, but sometimes if you will hit like purple or golden chests, the loot can be pretty awesome. So static solo dungeons, doing them solo, it's not only a good way of fame farming, but it can be also a good way of making some money. I was doing static dungeons for something like 40 minutes, and before I entered the first static dungeon, I had 0 combat fame, combat credits. Right now I have them something like 900k, so if I would do them for like 1 hour, and the one more important thing, I don't have 100 spec on my battle axe, so if I would have 100 spec on my battle axe and I would do it for like 1 hour, I would probably get something like more than 1.5 mil fame credits. So that means you can easily get 2 million fame per hour while doing tier 4 static dungeons in some blue zones. So that's pretty amazing. You're 100% safe. You're doing some you're killing only some mobs, nobody can kill you, and you are still getting 2 million fame per hour. So that's pretty amazing. And that's all of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something new. So that's all from me today. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, bye.